and let you vote on the yes. Right, back to item number 7, the LG&Z policy remits 2026. How would you like to?
Remit 1.
Remit 1, priorities for Dog Control Act reform.
Excuse me, Richard, can I suggest that you receive the report first?
Yes.
That's a very good point. Moved Councillor Catherwood, seconded Councillor Cotton.
Thank you very much.
All those in favour? Carried. Aye.
Remit 1.
Pretty straightforward there. Remit 1.
Yeah.
Any comment?
I will go for that one. Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. Everyone happy with Remit 1?
Well, then you can get with the councils. You get the councils making different sets of rules for every different council. Well, there isn't there? Yeah.
It's advocacy to the government to reform the act, so they would have to do work to legislate something. That's all it's saying.
Yeah, sweet as.
So we take it consensus for Remit 1 is support.
Yeah.
Remit 2.
Yes, same.
Sorry, was that a?
You don't want to vape shop in every corner.
So that's
the vape's going to come and deal with the council and slow. There's enough busybody going on in people's bloody businesses.
So, you got a decision, Councillor Kettleman?
Well, are we looking for a consensus?
Consensus.
So, is the stronger view to support or not?
Yeah, I'm for it. Greater regulatory, greater enforcement.
Yeah,
Greater.
I'd be against it because the reality is that, like you look at Australia trying to do this, and all they've got is a ginormous black market in cigarettes now. So.
Very much so.
Regulation's not working.
Bad enough here too. Cigarette.
A lot of money.
Right, so
Consensus
we
is
might need a,
all those for, against.
Well, we have it on that one, didn't we?
Consensus against.
So Remit 2 is not support.
Not support.
3.
Oh, that's a definite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh shit, no.
That's a yes.
Yep. Remit 4.
Yes.
Yep.
Ask for the address to send the bill.
Yeah.
Remit 4, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's not going to affect us much, but there'll be councils that have to do this, which is a waste of time.
Yeah. Removal of representation review.
Just a question, Your Worship, wee bit off subject, but on subject. What does a review cost to run? And is it?
Well, we used election services, so it's the consultancies again. There's that step process. There's consultation process.
They charge us.
Yeah, so we have to do the representation review. They've got to come in and do all the workshopping with you. Then there's the engagement process, which they control.
Why didn't you speak up earlier?
We don't have to do one.
No.
We're not doing one. Well, you get to
That
vote.
would have cost us money today.
No, that's part of the contract.
Yeah, but the reason why I say we support that is because there'll be a whole heap of other councils who may be heading into Head Start or amalgamation talks, and they might, their 6 years may be up and they're going to have to do it on representation.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
Yeah,
So-
I'm with you on that one, Simon.
So, your
done
worship,
for you.
what, is there a figure, roughly? Ballpark?
See what your
No, I don't have it in
questions
front of me.
created?
Hmm?
The unrestful questions created?
$83.
Better shut up.
What do you think?
It's a huge staff time, Roger, and
Yeah. So that's a cost though.
And remember how many workshops and decisions we had and we.
Brian, why you twisted?
Yeah, and then you went the wrong way.
Say it.
No comment?
Yeah, well, you've ended up back here.
Not commenting.
Exactly.
Quite a
You went the wrong way, but you've ended up back here.
Back to the question.
Support. Number 4.
Ask you the question.
I support Remit.
Remit 4, all those in favour? Yeah. Remit 5,
Yeah. I support that.
Place naming authority.
I hope he's not all just reading it now.
No, thinking about it. What's devolve actually mean? Your worship.
Through you, Worship, if there's a change of spelling or something in terms of a place name, it's got to go through the geographic board to do that.
Oh,
So,
we're the one before.
so that's basically saying that would be devolved to territorial or local authorities,
Okay, I'm for that.
asking for that to be devolved.
Yeah. I'm for that.
Support.
Support 4, Remit 6,
I don't really understand that one too much.
No,
It's wrong with governance.
I'm against it. I mean, it's just some councils want to spend a heap of money on city nonsense and sending their mayors to Iceland or whatever. And
gee, there'd be nothing wrong with that, would there?
One way.
it's
It's
basically, it's essentially meaningless. They're just wanting the government.
I'm a nut. Yeah.
So no.
No.
Go away.
Bulk funding of transport activities, wow.
Nah.
So what on that one there, what's the top table think of that idea? Is it-
Transport activities.
Not sure what it means
I'm not
either.
exactly sure what they're asking. I mean, if it's just give us the money and we decide where we spend it, then that'd be great. Because at the moment, we can't move it within different funding categories. But it also took, so if it was simplifying the management of our transportation funding arrangements, then that would be great. You don't know what that means
Well, they were talking about a bulk funding trial there,
for a 3-year period.
yeah, for some councils.
If that's what it is, then we'd be in support of that. Maybe we need to have a look at the detail.
Can we leave that one to Steve to flesh out a bit more?
Jules will do some immediate research while we move on to the next one.
Right.
Your Worship.
Remit
So
8,
do a public trial.
Remit
It does say
8,
transportation activities as well.
Yes, absolutely. That came from a group of smaller councils and the remits all looking to shrink that audit requirements.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
right. Discussion,
I think that was a yes.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah, bro.
pretty easy. Remit 9, support, yep. And we're back to 7.
So on page 74 and 73, there's a bit more detail. They're proposing that Zone 2 councils will do it as a trial for
Sorry, of
27
the 24 and 73 of the.
of our agenda.
Yeah.
174, is it? 174 and 173, which is pages 45 to 47 of their document. But they are talking about public transport, but as well as other categories. So if it would make it easier for our team to manage our budgets and move money around if they say, here's your allocation, you guys, they're basically saying locals know best where they need to spend the money, so give them that allocation and get on with it.
You'd support that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Could it mean anything else?
Well, I mean, they do talk about public transport, which we don't have as here, but if that's part of an overall allocation, then why would we change? And they want to do it as a trial.
Yeah, that's right.
They are talking about maintenance of renewal programs, public transport, delivery of safety and minor works.
Good, Remit's done.
Yeah, we're back.
Yep.
Yes.
So that was a consensus yes?
Yep.
So we just need to go back to that page 124 and to resolve recommendation
Yes,
2.
Yeah.
Please.
Someone like to move that recommendation?
Yeah.
Councillor Graham, second Councillor McCrosty, all those in favour? Aye. Carried. Right, page 260. Item number 9.
Put it to sleep.
Just confirmation of the minutes.
Happy to move.
Happy to move. Seconded, Councillor Frost. Oh, hang on. Were you here, Councillor Frost? Oh, no. Ooh.
Allowed to see.
Roger wasn't.
Harry wasn't either. Oh, no, there we go.
Right, just carry on.
Check him in when he's there.
Sorry.
Yes.
279.
West Otago, 279.
Move for no.
Item number 10. That'll be looking for a lead from Councillor Kennedy.
I'll move it for no.
Seconder.
Yep.
Councillor Cotton, all those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Page 287.
So moved.
So move Councillor Cotton, seconder.
Yeah.
Councillor Kennedy, all those in favour.
Aye.
Yes, carried. I think Dickie's spelled wrong too. It's K-E-Y. Forward.
295, youth council.
295.
Page 292.
You were there. Yeah, I wasn't there.
We're not there, Brendan.
I was.
That was correspondence.
Dean was.
Yep.
There was.
Happy to move.
Oh, that
Happy to
was-
move. Seconder. Councillor Smith, all those in favour.
Aye.
What are we up to now? 301.
Your report. He wasn't there.
Report him.
He wasn't there.
Oh, happy to move that.
He's away.
Does it need moved?
Yes, your worship.
Does someone like to second that?
Yep.
Councillor Cotton.
Are you doing it around the table?
No.
Not that long ago, did one.
Aye.
Same as
Uh,
I did go to a citizenship.
303. Steve.
Oh, right, your worship. We're moving ahead, steaming ahead, so I'll just take the report as read and happy to answer any questions.
I have a question.
Councillor Cotton.
Thank you, your worship. Item 2.2 on that report. And Yi, where did he go?
To the, he doesn't want it to.
He's going to be working from home for another.
Something else.
Yep.
He's coming back to bits and bobs, isn't he? He's doing some fill-in work for us.
Oh, minor.
A little minor,
Just as part of completing a handover.
Thank you.
Right, would someone like to move? Councillor Graham, Councillor Catherwood, all those in favour.
And that's also your
We have them,
seal,
yeah,
wasn't
councillor reports.
And then the fixing of the seal.
it? That was on there as well. So that's
Because we don't want them.
Cool, it's only 3 weeks.
Surely took, that was a resolution.
Yeah, fixing of the seal.
Oh, yeah. Huh? Not done.
No one's really interested.
Where else we going, Julie?
Eh?
page 306.
306.
And through you, Your Worship, happy to take my report as read and answer any questions.
Civil events, workshops, plant inspection, Matariki celebrations.
Quite like the CDC communications dashboard. If that means anything.
Well, it will to you, won't it, Becky?
Comms team.
Absolutely. Snap put that one together, Natasha.
Still
Would you like
reading
to just add to it?
Councillor's
Vicky?
report.
Oh, it's just a digital.
We had a good discussion this morning on health and safety and ICT, so.
When you've got requests received under the Official Information Act here, Jules, is that just for your department?
No, that's for the whole org of the org, but they used to be under Steve's report, but handled by the comms team, so we put them under this area.
Right.
We are being a lot more proactive in going back to people and telling them there'll be a charge if they're asking for lots of information.
And asking for clarification in case they can narrow down what they're searching for. It can be that they ask for everything, but generally that's not, perhaps there's just one thing they're after instead, and we narrow it down to save time.
So is it slowed the people coming forward?
Oh,
Not yet.
not yet, but that
Well,
might.
the intent's not to slow them down or stop that at all. It's just to make sure that if there is actually a lot of effort to get the information, that there's a cost. And when we've gone to say, hey, it's going to be a cost to this, they say we don't want it. So then we just say to them, this is what we can give you for no cost. And so that, I think it's just being fair if there's lots of requests coming in. And to narrow it down, as Becky's mentioned, what do they really want rather than what might be a really broad topic.
Do they generally come into the front office to ask, or
No.
it's always email?
Not always, but
Always. Would
Do we,
Mostly
do we take the first approach in having a face-to-face conversation with them?
Well,
sometimes we call them,
Yeah.
confirm it.
Yeah, there is a set
A lot of it would
process.
be answered, you can answer it.
There is a set process with Liquid requests that you do have to follow in terms of like acknowledging the request and meeting the deadlines of acknowledgement and things. But if we do need clarification, we'll give them a ring and have a chat, because sometimes that's much easier.
Just what you gotta do.
Very
Online.
Resolutions on page 306.
Corporate fleet sustainability.
Would someone like to move that we received internal services departments? Councillor Frost, Councillor Cotton, all those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried.
It's just this side of the Christian, you know, eh?
Right. Item number 16, page 3112. Welcome back, Donna.
Thank
So
you.
you're doing the homework yourself.
So, in the interest of time, I'll take that the report has been read, and if there's any questions.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. The photos on 316, I couldn't tell the difference between the two Waipori Falls Road ones. Am I missing something, or one's taken from the middle of the road and the other one's taken to one side? Just
It's been after trimming by the look of it.
so.
That's
Vegetation trimming.
vegetation.
Oh,
So the left's
right.
before and the right's an after.
Still don't look a lot different.
If you're looking on the right hand one, you'll see there's
It's a huge difference.
There's a car on one of them as well.
You can actually see the yellow safety
Trying to play
sign
that game, isn't it?
on the right hand one.
Spot the difference.
No.
Questions, Donna, on page 323, 6.3. The vehicles on beaches, they're obviously going pretty good then.
The team are working through it, yep, absolutely. Yep.
Are they on track to deliver? They were talking August, weren't they? A bit of an update, or?
They have
September?
been on track, yes. We have got a, our team leader for asset management transportation had resigned, and we still haven't filled that role, so we do have a gap. But we have had external support and help as well. But the team are on track at this point in time.
How's the fleet optimization going?
And
Been obviously look at the report, you're getting into it a bit there.
thank you. Sorry, just going to the right page. So the team have been working on that as well. We are looking at hopefully being able to put up some.
You have 11 vehicles
Yeah,
coming up
thank you.
for sale.
11 vehicles up for sale. Yeah, so they're on track with that. But again, the priority right this minute is the AMPs, right? Activity management plan and the team just working through that.
Just on that, somewhere in there I read that the vehicles you don't end up with a vehicle sitting that ends up with a flat battery. So, do we have vehicles sitting around that long?
I think,
And that was,
so it's vehicles for sale that have been sitting around.
Yeah.
Making sure we sell them.
and part of the fleet optimization work that the team did, they actually did whole lots of calculations to determine percentage of use by activity group, the volume that each vehicle's used, so on and so forth.
Proposed new building works.
So which page is that one?
Go click the library extension. This one's the first time I've read about that.
We tried to sneak that one past you, mate.
Sorry, which
Oh, the
page are we
population's
looking at?
booming, isn't it? Not. 324.
324.
That's the scoping side of things.
Yeah, I mean, what are you scoping?
Well, the Belgrade Library Replacement Program, which has been in the LTP for quite a number of years, is still there. We pushed it out in the previous LTP. This one, we had to do some work around, could we move the library into Tupoma, for example? We had to do all that homework to conclude that that wasn't going to work. And then after the decisions around the Milton one, right, it became very clear that we weren't considering, and it wasn't going to be palatable to build a whole new building. Don't forget the Belgrade Library, we had this argument about the roof replacement and the health and safety issues, the mould in the walls and all that we had to deal with. But it was all fixed. We spent the money. There was questions about spending money if we were going to replace it. And we had the strategic decision that the LTP would reflect that the likely option for the longevity of that building is to, I'm answering your question, Councillor, if you want to listen. The strategic answer was an expansion and extension of the existing building, and to do it up was the most likely, cost-effective solution, given all the other things that we've done with all the other buildings in the district libraries. And that's what's in the LTP. And all they're doing is the preliminary work around that. It's not being built in 2 years or anything like that. It's starting the discussions around where we're heading.
I think if you went there and seen the number of people that go through it in even an hour, and then look at the toilet set up there, you wouldn't put up with it anywhere else. So, and that's only one part of it. You really need to go down there and sit in the library for a while to understand it, and then you may have a completely different opinion.
Maybe.
So try it sometime, Councillor Catherwood. Donna, please, on the water schemes. Do you mind, Councillor Catherwood? We're trying to move on. The water schemes and so forth with the water teams, are we on track with all our reservoirs and so forth? Like, I see there's a few issues with hydraulics and flow taps and bits and bobs. Are we looking like we'll have a lot of this stuff resolved by the summer?
We have to. We definitely with the tank farm. So the telemetry and flow meters, they were additional for a number of those tank farm projects. Cornell is still working on the ones that are still remaining to continue, but we have to. It just can't keep continuing.
So how come they become additional?
Because for whatever reason, it wasn't in the original scope at the time.
Well, why would it not be in the original scope?
Because when the designs were done, at that point in time, it hadn't been included. However, with sitting with the operations team, it was then decided that they should be included.
So just to confirm through your worship too, they were renewals of existing telemetry gear, and that was an opportunity when the contractors are going to have them on site to renew those and put new gear in, set it up going forward. This has been brought back, I think, when we had the queries about the budget changes for the reservoir projects, and the additional costs were a lot around renewing the telemetry equipment.
Yeah, it's had to be in the original.
It was just a straight reservoir renewal, and I think the assumption was that existing telemetry gear was okay, but obviously once there was a bit more involvement from the ops team, it's a good time to do this as well. So it was with some better engagement going forward, then we can identify those right at the start.
So then the decision on Carter Point Reservoir, that project being cancelled?
That's correct. The decision, operations made that
So
decision.
how does that decision come about?
The operations team made that decision. They felt it
So
was
a
no
piece
longer
of
required.
wild infrastructure.
I think through you.
Why, because of budget?
Through you, your worship, I think that the actual condition of the tanks is actually not too bad. The original scope was to put in a larger tank.
It's to give it more capacity for more resilience of breakdowns on the scheme, isn't it?
Yep.
So they run out of water every summer, and now you've chosen not to give them any resilience.
They don't run out of water because of the reservoir capacity. They actually haven't actually run out of water recently. It was only when there's been large leaks, which the reservoir is not going to address that. But Linda, do you want to say something?
I just want to talk about the reason that operations made. So there was a really large variation that was required to continue with the install of those tanks. And so given the condition of them, it wasn't worth spending the additional money because they're not in that bad a condition. So in consultation with the scheme chair, we made the decision not to spend the money.
It's in the report too.
He was aware of the cost.
Yes. I think the other thing is these projects started as we're putting in a single tank.
Yeah, 5,000.
Replacing it was originally a
250
250 or 500 cubic metre tank. Again, they were really expensive. So we went back to replacing the individual tanks, and then there's additional costs that's been highlighted. So it's actually, if they're not in that bad condition, why would we do that if it's going to cost us? And even the council's even said, how much is it costing per tank to do this, including all the foundation? Well, this potentially might have been a lot more than that with the variation that would have been required. So it's part of the urban capital works program. So whatever we save there can be applied elsewhere, or it can be an overall saving and reduce the size of the loan.
And as part of the cancellation, we had committed to buy the tanks. We've had to complete that purchase. So we now have, I think, 12 tanks that are in stock, if you like. So when we've got another need for those, then we've got those on hand.
Donna, how's your portfolio heads going? Are they good buggers?
Of course they are.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, the team do a huge amount of work.
Great.
Actually, we've got a huge portfolio to manage.
Yeah, it shows. Any further questions for Donna team? Now, what would someone like to recommend that we receive the infrastructure and strategy delivery update report? Councillor Graham, second Councillor Frost, all those in favour?
Thank you.
Carried, thank you, Donna.
Thanks, Tom.
339.
Right, 339.
We're not doing council's report.
No.
Your worship, I'm happy to take.
Welcome, Linda.
Thank you. Happy to take the report as read. Only one update to give you. So page, 342, just the external assessment of the wastewater treatment plants. We've had an external specialist looking at those to help us try and achieve compliance. We've had his report since this report was published. The team are working through the recommendations, and we'll have a look and see what we need to do, and what we want to trial out of that report. It is on hand.
Does that mean you do our below filters, Linda?
That's part of it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Depends what the cost is and what the issue is we're trying to deal with. This is the work to try and get rid of our abatement notices and be more compliant. But if the cost is going to be significant, it might be, you need to look at a new consenting process rather than an upgrade, if we don't think we.
So we changed all the balls, the Becker guy, wasn't it, 3 years ago?
Yes.
We did all that work, they all turned into green, and I noticed they're all turning into reds again.
Well, they were never green
No.
for the things that.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
No, they were never green for those. Yeah. And the operations team is effectively doing what Ian Macbeth was doing previously. So this is the next stage of that. And actually Ian recommended some of these things, which we have trialled, and now this is looking at it more than with the one plant that's trialled at Stirling. So it's continuing to do the work to move towards compliance. But if it doesn't, if there isn't a solution there, then it might be a new consent.
Yeah, so we got into trouble and prosecuted for not maintaining the plants, if you recall. So we now, are skilled in the operation of the plants. We are getting them to be as effective as they possibly can. And then the question is, how then do we achieve compliance across all the range? Because the plants aren't necessarily ever going to give us compliance across that range. So we either standards change or something, consent conditions change, all these things can happen with the new government and things like that. Or we find, engineering solutions to it. That's where we are, because if we don't do something and make decisions, we have these abatement notices, and that always has the risk that we're going to end up prosecuted for that. And, the enforcement agency hasn't been sort of erring on the side of caution necessarily of not prosecuting us. So we have to be careful about that.
So those capital projects on these lists here, there's only like, I think it was 28 or something for this year. Those wastewater treatment plant ones are on that list for this year.
Yes, so we have some budget that operationally we're applying against some of those projects and looking for, this is so that we can target the improvements to things that are going to help.
So these are the first priorities.
Yes.
Yeah.
For us operationally. So the capital delivery team, there's nothing for them to deliver this year. This is us managing some budget funding that we have and then trialling the things that are within those budgets that we've got available.
So there's no capital budget going into our wastewater treatment plants this year.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
there's lots of wastewater compliance budgets.
These budgets.
But just to clarify, Donna, those 28 are the ones that you're delivering from the capital projects, right? Not the ones that the ops team are working on.
Correct.
Yeah, so is in that 28, are those wastewater treatment plants that have been identified in here, are they part of that 28 that are actually going to happen?
So referring back to the council decisions when we presented all the capital projects, where we proposed what was to go to scope, design or implementation, the items that were identified as a prioritisation at that time are the ones that we are delivering. So those capital items are within that full report.
So you've got to go back and go have a look at that decision.
Just to make a comment, though, it is great to see that the focus is switching to the waste treatment plants, because as we look at those water treatment plants, those graphs are kind of a bit boring and a lot less colourful now.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
They're all turning green. But yeah, so the focus now obviously is switching to getting that waste.
Yeah.
We are making progress.
And it isn't that we haven't been focusing on that,
Yeah.
because we have a separate team that looks after those wastewater
Yeah,
plants.
Yeah, we're cranking into that now.
Yes, and it's more about making sure that we are spending the money on the right fixes.
But just to confirm, Dane, the 28 are what the capital team are working on. There are other projects in this list that the operations team are working on. So we're working on more than just 28 water projects because it's split between the two teams.
Councillor Cox.
Thank you, Your Worship. So have you had a chance to look at this report about it? No, okay.
I think either yesterday or the day before.
Oh, right, that's fine.
Corey has it.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And I know that one of the things he's definitely identified, and that if you look at page 341 and what the loading, I guess, of what's coming into the plant from some sources is one of the things that he's talked about.
Yeah.
And one of the first actions we've taken is the ORC have taken over the stock truck effluent sites, and we've told the ORC will no longer accept that effluent into our pond.
Yes, yes.
Given they've got abatement notices on us, we can't put an abatement notice and then penalise us for accepting stuff that they are now looking
So you cut off the stockyards?
That's something for discussion. Not so much cutting off, but looking at what impact.
It's not just stockyards, there's other customers as well who are washing down trucks and things. We know who they are.
Just a question, Linda, about the Milton there with the cleaning of all the pipes and that. I said there was a whole lot of work done. So the pipe work that we couldn't clean because of collapsing and that sort of thing, are those pipe works in the thing to be replaced later on? Or?
Yes, through your worship, they will definitely be part of our renewals program. They were just too fragile to take the
Right, yeah, not worth it. Yeah,
pressure.
appreciate that.
An interesting one, councillors, with their portfolio meeting with the water team, the pond sludge surveys and stuff on page 340, 341, and they were telling us that there was a lot of pressure on the ponds with the other truck, what do they call it? You know, they pump those
Septic
dump stations out on the side of the road, NZTA, or stock effluent, and then dumping in the mini hours, and it's just too blinking hard on them. And then even the industrial component and commercial of their rates increases has had a major impact on the local sale yards and so forth. But it is just
trade waste.
it's trade waste. We're facing facts. It's the cost of dealing with the stuff, and meeting all the requirements of regional councils.
And through your worship, our trade waste is based on volume, not on what it's made up of.
So where does it go if they can't dump it here?
They'll have to take it out of district and pay to dump it somewhere else. We understand that the ORC is now taking that stock effluent to Invercargill because no one else wants it either.
Too hard on the gear. It's quite interesting. Team talent.
Take it to precincts page.
Just dump it in the torrent.
The Southern Waters, how'd that go the other day when just had the workshop here?
Yes, so we had the project team from Southern Waters, as well as a company that's been appointed to develop the operating model called LSI, and had a very productive day actually. So they're looking at our current state, and they've worked through all of the councils this week. They've got Gore tomorrow to end their week, and it's an opportunity for us to talk about. So we've got an RFI process where we're providing documentation and a whole lot of stats and figures and things, but this is about hearing what's going on from the horse's mouth, I guess, and especially the little quirks and things that might be relevant in our district that they can then take on board. But no, it was a full-on day, and we had really good participation from all of the teams across council. It wasn't just Three Waters, there was finance, comms, Donna's team. Yeah, it was good. HR, we had some meetings, health and safety. So yeah, a whole lot of different aspects. IT, sorry.
Excellent. Any further questions for Linda team? If no further questions or discussion, would someone like to make a recommendation?
I'll have to move.
We have to move, receive that recommendation. Seconder, councillor Crosty, all those in favour? Aye. Say aye. Carried.
No.
Welcome, Greta. Sorry, my apologies, Greta. I was sending you photos of my grandson when my daughter-in-law's name's Greta too. So I get a message from Greta saying, "God, cute." I'm looking and thinking, "What the hell am I sending you?"
That sounds like Steve and Sharon's.
Or a Damien the Dane story.
So my apologies, Greta.
That's all
Yeah, but
right.
there's no one here.
Wrong Greta.
Cool. Well, I'll take this report as read as well. Has anyone got any questions?
Too much green.
Too
Too much green.
Green is good.
Green is great.
Great is good. Well done.
What would councillor Herbert say? Where's the Targo stuff? There's a couple of red ones there.
The only tricky one's actually my flats.
Yeah, my flat's got a bit of red.
Yeah, so we did a lot of work in February, March, April to sort of the similar work to what we did at North Bruce, sort of reduce the velocity through the baffles coming into the clarifier. And that's helped a lot there. And,
Really?
Yep. And then the ops team have also been trialling a polymer on site as well since it's gotten quite cold. And sort of like the chemical reaction slowed down and it was giving us a little bit of trouble, but that sort of seems to have helped. So, yeah.
What's happened at the Purua? Seems to.
Well, it's behaving.
Yeah. Is that?
Don't jinx it.
Fire, councillor.
But through you, your
Well,
worship.
it was still hot in March.
Yeah, no, we took we stopped the treatment, remember, over the summer period
Correct.
to recover. And since then too, the large reservoir is now operational. too, so.
Yeah, I believe that the large res was turned on fully in March, right? Was it March?
I think it's around
Yeah.
there, but not 100% sure. So that just provides a lot more to come and go on in terms of getting the plants.
It's hope.
Yep.
March was still warm and it complied.
It wasn't a particularly hot
Come
summer.
on, you're on the east coast down in Kent.
Who was the?
Oh, warm for there. What are you in? North.
Any questions
Green is
for
good.
Greta?
More of it.
Team.
No,
Are we going all right with the Tokyo Regional Council? How's the relationship going there?
It's good. We've received the wastewater treatment plant reports from them from the audits undertaken in March, so we're working through some of the actions. We did get a few more abatement notices on the back of those, which we're now working through on page. Carries over a couple of pages, but we got one for Clinton for the discharge volumes over the winter. We don't have control there at the moment, so it's technically what comes in gets treated and goes out. So the wastewater team are working on putting a control valve on site there. So I'm hoping that'll be in the next few months, and then they will be able to control the flows. And then we just got to make sure we don't have any sort of unforeseen consequences there, but that will take care of that.
Is there infiltration issues of pipes underground, or is it more?
It's
above
more
ground?
just like Valcliffe that we have a system where the pumps run until we get to 2,050 cubes discharge, and then the pumps turn off and it's gravity after that. And so that sort of has a way of balancing the pond. Sometimes we sort of get quite close to the 2,500, which we're allowed, apart from maybe like a rolling average of 3 to 5 days of heavy rainfall. So we're sort of looking to put a similar system in there, which takes a little bit of tweaking with the SCADA system and is a little bit of a control, like a PLC. But I think we should be right. I mean, we do get the I&I in there, there's no argument. I mean, that's what the big inflows are on all of our plants, but we should be able to control it better with the buffering of the two ponds. We have to because we've got a UV there, so it's trapped by the capacity that can get through the UV anyway.
Who's got the worst I&I? Which plant? Must be one that's.
Milton.
Milton's the worst.
Yep.
Yeah, there's capital projects on that now, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah. That's underway. The next worst?
That's a big issue to fix though.
Yeah.
Milton's is deep, potentially years to fix.
Milton doesn't have storage capacity, like it doesn't have a buffer like the ponds do. Like the ponds do just give us
It'll be
that
full.
element of.
We could use the old
It's not big enough. It's got a peak factor
They've got to be full.
of
Priorities, right, isn't it?
around 10.
Eh?
So whenever we weather
Yeah.
it's 10 times the wastewater flow coming through.
Oh,
Regarding the regional council, is there anything we need to be mindful of, or you're pretty comfortable?
We recently applied to cancel the abatement notice on the perimeter.
Councillor Catherwood,
Oh,
please.
yeah,
Yeah, well, Rita's trying to talk, thank you. You're
So
talking over.
We recently tried to cancel the abatement notice for the Milton wastewater treatment plant based on the parameters, and then they've pushed back because the first lot of samples that we took 1 month were compliant, and then we had the trickling filters breakdown. And just to be transparent, we let them know, which is what they requested us. And we said, we're not doing a full treatment process. We've got 1 trickling filter down. And so we took a sample and we submitted it just to show them what the discharge quality was at the time. It wasn't intended to be a compliant sample. They've taken that and said no. And then because we're running on a 90th percentile rolling average, it's probably going to affect us in the next 6 months.
Oh,
So we're currently going back and forward on how legit that sort of is, that it's been used for that representation.
See why they want to get rid of them.
And we're also working on putting a big flow meter on the bypass from Milton, but it's just quite difficult in the fact that we need a big pipe essentially for the bypass, but it's got to be full the whole time on a dog leg to give us a true reading. So we're just trying to work out how we do that. So then we actually got a really good report on our bypass in terms of the work we've done to reduce the frequency of them happening and that kind of thing. But it's just now those technicalities that are sort of holding us back. But as we sort of ticked off bigger ticket items, we're sort of getting to those ones. But I don't think there's anything that came out of them which is too terrible.
Mhm.
We're just waiting for the water treatment plant audit reports now.
yeah, that'll tell us.
Yeah, but we're working through a lot of that. We've just put a raw water intake meter on at North Bruce and those kind of things to just move off some of these old abatement notices.
How many abatement notices are there?
How many?
6.
16.
16, is it?
Yeah.
That's all right, tuck them off, how do you get it off?
Actually, there's quite a few here that it should be actually removed from here that have been gone since then because had an abatement notice for Lawrence, which has been now removed because we don't use the backwash anymore, and there's a few here that's probably overrepresented.
Cool. Lovely. Any further questions for Greta? Well, would someone like to move that recommendation? Councillor Cotton, Councillor Frost, all those in favour, please say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greta. Oh, well, that brings us to the conclusion of a very good effort today, team. Thank you for your attendance, and we'll declare the meeting closed.
See you again next week.
It'll be
It'll be extraordinary.
That'd be